Oh shit, I'm doing the same thing as far out, guys. Look. Oh, the sock. And I'm back to the old sock. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And we're going to talk about an interesting topic, but it's not really EUC related per se at all, actually. But it's more interesting than any other topic I've talked about, I reckon. So see if you're going to enjoy it before you quit. And I'm just going to mention, guys, that my channel's in a bit of trouble. It's been for a while. And there's one piece of advice I'm going to follow. And that is, don't upload until you've got 50% of your views to subscriber ratio. So for me, that's about 400. So let's make it 400 and max 1 month. So if it goes more than a month, I'll upload. But I'll try and stick to it. I don't want to just say it and not do it. So if I don't get it, as soon as I get 400, I'll upload the next video. And if it goes over a month, then I'll upload. But I'm not going to disappear like before for 6 months. And the topic is, this is a tough one actually. It's tough to explain, but let's see how we go. It's a philosophical topic. And the question is, what makes a person a person? What makes you, you, right? Because you know you exist. You can sense the world around you. You can, you think, you dream, all that. And what is it that makes that experience, right? What is it that makes it possible? And you've got 2 points of view, right? You've got the materialistic argument that says everything you are is determined by the molecules that compose your body, right? Your physical body. So everything, every thought, every experience, happiness, sadness, it all depends on the positions and velocities of trillions of molecules, right? Your body's made up of, I think, 30 trillion cells roughly. So how many molecules would that be? Probably quadrillions. So it's a massive number, but it's still limited, It's just a bunch of particles, just like dust and dirt, it's all made of the same stuff, right? Molecules, which are made up of atoms, which are just made up of electrons, protons, and neutrons. As far as we know, it's 3 things: electrons, protons, and neutrons, but you can break them down further, and then you get into quantum physics. But it's still all particles, isn't it? You might say, okay, this is made of these particles, so, you break down an electron into quarks and whatnot, gluons and all that. And it's still saying that depending on the positions of all those particles, it's going to determine your whole life experience, right? And then there's the other argument that says there's something beyond that. Something beyond the particles that determines who you are and how you feel at any given point in time, right? Think about the human experience. It's seemingly infinite. How many different emotions can you have? All such a range and different intensities, It's like, how much pain can you feel? How much happiness? How much sadness? Where's the limit? Is there like a hard limit? It's like, okay, that's as sad as you can be. That's as happy as you can be. And so on, right? So those are the 2 arguments. You've got the material argument and then the spiritual argument, let's call it, that says there's something beyond the material, beyond the particles, such as a soul or something, whatever you want to call it, that determines who you are. So let's analyze the first argument, the material argument. And let's assume that's the way it is, right? You only exist your consciousness only exists because of the particles that make up your human body. Your brain mostly, I guess, right? Your brain determines all your emotions, let's say, and perhaps your heart. Who's to say? But let's just say it is the particles. Maybe it's your whole body as a whole. It all works together somehow. Well, let's analyze that. Hypothetical case number 1. Let's make an exact replica of your human body, right? In theory, that is totally possible, right? As hard as it sounds, they're just particles, and they're just in their own positions and then moving around at whatever velocities and whatever directions in whatever moment in time. That's all it is. So let's replicate that. Let's make an exact molecule for molecule clone of your human body right now. And then it's somewhere else though, you know, like you're here, let's say I'm standing here, and then I make a clone, an exact clone, and it's going to be right next to me. So if the particles determine everything, you've just made an exact copy, right? And for anyone saying, oh no, that's just totally impossible. In theory, it is totally possible, right? It's just our science is way, like, it's nowhere near that level, right? It's kind of like saying, all right, let's make a mountain of gold the size of the sun, right? It's impossible, but it is totally possible. If our science could do it, you know, you can't say that's impossible. They're just particles, right? So you've made a clone, an exact clone, and it's sitting right next to you. And then who's who then? If those exact positions and velocities determine your consciousness at any given moment in time, and you've just made an exact clone that has everything identical, all the velocities are the same, all the positions are exactly the same, what's going to happen? Did you just make yourself again? So are you now there? But you're still here, right? They're just molecules. So that immediately seems like it falls over. But then you might say, okay, no, it's not an exact copy because they're different molecules, aren't they? Even though they're the same types of molecules, you know, you've got like all the things that make up your body, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, all the things that make, what is it like, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen. I think that's pretty much all that makes up your body, really. But let's say there's a few more. It doesn't even matter, does it? Because you've made an exact copy, and the thing is, like, someone might say, okay, it's not an exact copy because those hydrogen and hydrogen, carbon, blah blah blah, all those different molecules or atoms are actually from a different part of the universe, aren't they? So it's like, okay, it's the same, but they're made of different ones, right? So like you're here, made up of your atoms, but then you've made an exact copy from different atoms from around the universe, wherever you got them from. You could have got them from stardust or whatever, because you can get it from anywhere, right? Everything's made up of the same stuff in the end. And so there you could say, okay, the material argument can still hold together based on that. But here's the problem with that. Your body is not made up of the same atoms at any moment in time. From any moment to the next, you're constantly dumping off molecules and rebuilding your own body with all the food you eat, the air you breathe, right? You're constantly the skin on your body is going to be replaced every, I don't know, it's like 7 years or whatever. You know, all your cells are getting replaced by matter from anywhere, just randomly. It's like you're breathing air from anywhere and you're rebuilding your body constantly. So that argument falls over again. It doesn't matter which ones were where or like where you got them from. You're still you, aren't you? You could be getting atoms from anywhere and then swapping them all over every 10 years or whatever it is, but you're still you, right? All your memories, think about memory, like to say that your whole life experience, everything you've learned and everything you can remember is determined by just these molecules moving around, right? Because you can, like I said, you can replicate it. So if you did replicate it, do you have another version of you that remembers the same stuff? And even if you did, it's still not you, is it? It's someone else. Even if you could make life like that, just by cloning a human body, and it was alive, let's say, it's still someone else because you're still here. You can't be here and there at the same time. Perhaps you can, like who's even to say, but it boggles the mind really to think about. And the more you think about it, the more you start to realize that it can't be. It can't just be the atoms that we can see with our eyes and touch with our skin. It's got to be something deeper, right? It's got to be, because, like I said, you can replace all your, all your body parts, and you're still you. You can replace your whole brain with all, like, your brain gets replaced too as you go through life, right? All the cells in your brain are like getting replenished slowly, right? And that's something science didn't know up until fairly recently. It's called neurogenesis. And it means the generation of neurons, which is what your brain is made of. In the past, like I think back in the 60s or something, they thought it was impossible for your brain to like replace its cells, but it actually does, it turns out. And there you go, the argument falls over, because, what I said before, you make a clone, and then you say, okay, that's got to be you still then. If the particles determine everything, then if you make a clone, you've got to be there, but then you've got a paradox, because now you've got two versions of you in different locations, right? But then the argument for the material side comes in and says, no, they're made of different atoms, that's why it's a different conscience, and it's a separate person, right? A separate, conscience is the best word. But it falls over because even your own body is constantly getting replaced. So it's not like these exact molecules from these exact locations are what determined who you are. It's not. It was never that. Right? Because it doesn't matter how many you replace, you're still you. As long as you keep breathing, as long as you stay alive, you're still, you know you're you. You've got the same memories. It's not like you became a different person. That's crazy. So I reckon that pretty much like covers it. And oh shit, I'm doing the same thing as far out, guys. Look. Oh, the sock. And I'm back to the old sock because I forgot to bring my microphone, so I've put a sock on the mic. And let's see how that goes. Well, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's not too windy. I don't think it is. Man, just leave it for the bats again. Got the fruit bats out here. Alright, so I'll talk about why my channel's in trouble. I'll just talk a bit more about that. Well, it's just like going downhill, it seems, and it was before I quit. I mean, I went 6 months off. I didn't make any videos for 6 months. Even it was way before that this happened. Something's happened. I don't know what's going on, but when I started, right, I didn't even know how to edit, really, I just made these basic videos, often just like 2 minutes long, of just like riding the EUC, down some alleyway, turning around, and that's it, like the simple videos, right? And they slowly got better, but even that whole time, I was like at least getting, 500 views on average per video. Many were over 1,000. So it seemed like, that's just the norm, right? And I had way less subscribers back then too, right? So I had I think it was up until about 300 subs that something just, happened, and then everything went downhill. Because by the 300 subs, I was doing a lot of editing, and I was making videos that I put a lot of time into and stuff, And something happened, and all of a sudden I'm getting for heaps of videos, I can't even get 100 views. And I'm making way better videos. I mean, I think that because I'm talking better, so I'm explaining things better. I'm editing better, and I'm filming better because I've figured out more about camera work or whatever, and better sound. And I put heaps of time into it. I must have put, I've made 300 videos, and each one is on average, let's say 4 hours to make, so 1,200 hours. And it's gone to nothing. It's Sure, I should have just kept making the crap videos where I'm just like doing nothing. You're not even talking, just writing like for like a minute, and that's it. Like one of my videos was under a minute, and it got like 800 views, you know. And it was just normal. And then when I made a good video, it would sometimes get like thousands, you know, like 5,000. And now it's like impossible. No matter what I do, it's like bugger all views. And so that's why I'm going to follow this piece of advice where it's something to do with the algorithm. If you make sure you wait till you get half your views to subscriber ratio before uploading your next video, that's better for your channel than just keep uploading and getting like bugger all views for every video, you know. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it works out, but I don't know, guys. I'm not like, YouTube is pissing me off all like in so many ways. Like I watch YouTube as well, and it's just become like a crap fest, you know, like just full of the ads they show. I don't know if you guys get the same ads, but they're just so annoying. It's like I've just developed this like reflex reaction where I just hit mute as soon as I see an ad. Like I don't even see a second of it, of any ad. Even if I'm semi-interested, I'm like, oh, I just don't watch them. I just hate these freaking intrusive ads that just pop up at random moments and just cut you off your video, even when you listen to music, you know? And it's just this loud ass ad that's like 10 times louder than the video. It's just so obnoxious. It drives me crazy, and I can't believe they're doing this. But what can you do? They've got a monopoly on this whole thing, you know? And I think it might be something political, like, because I talked about a few political things. Maybe to do with COVID. I mentioned like I think, you know, it was around the time when I first talked about COVID, is around the time I went downhill, like just, could be that, who knows, guys. But something's definitely happened, because the other thing that's important is my stats. Like I don't look at all the stats anymore, but I used to always check my stats after uploading a video. So like I'll upload it, wait like a week, and then check the stats. And it tells you like the average view duration. So how long are people staying on the videos? And my stats have just gone up slowly over time. Even though like, you know, my views just bombed from one day to the next, basically. It didn't correlate with anything in my stats. My stats have been going up. Like I've said, I used to make like 2-minute videos of nothing, basically. And then I got to a point where I was getting, on average, 10-minute view durations, which I think is really good. Like, you know, just based on the way I watch YouTube, I'll like skip heaps of it. The average view for me, or like watching other videos, it could be like only a few minutes sometimes. Because, you know, I'll watch this and I'll be like, nah, next, you know. So if my videos are getting 10-minute average view durations, I reckon that's like, you know, that's got to be good, but there's no reward for it. It's actually the opposite. As that has gotten better, it's still just bombed. You know, my channel has just been like thrown down the trash. So yeah, that's why I'm going to do this. Wait until I've got half my views and then upload. You know, hopefully that helps. But if it is something political, I reckon there's nothing I can do about it, because, you know, they can just hit a button and say, yep, dump this channel, dump that channel. They can erase your channel, like, if they want, just completely, for nothing. I mean, they'll give you a reason, but it doesn't have to be a good reason. It doesn't have to be logical. It doesn't even have to be true. They could just say, oh, we think you did this, you're gone, and that's it. What are you going to do? Send an email to a freaking robot? So there you go, that's it. That's the video for today. And you know what? I'm going to try not edit this video at all. It's 19 minutes and 20 seconds long now. And hopefully I can just upload this and save a bit of time. See you in the next one. And hopefully it won't be a full month before I upload again.